Okay, so you're postpartum. You might not be thinking about getting back to the gym yet or returning to exercise, but maybe you're starting to feel like your body is a little stiff and achy in places and you just want to move a little bit. I'm Heather Osby with hotandhealthylife.com, and I am currently 2.5 weeks postpartum. So I'm not back to the gym yet. I'm not in a hurry or a rush to get back to the gym. I do miss it. I definitely miss it, but I'm giving my body time to heal. But that also means having a newborn, I'm kind of sitting a lot, holding her, feeding her, rocking her, and going shh like 92 hours a day, especially like in the overnight hours. So my body is just a little bit achy, and I wanted to share with you a few of the stretches that I've been doing on a regular basis just to keep me feeling good and get my body moving. So you'll need a long foam roller and a resistance band or a towel, something that you can use for our hamstring stretch that we have coming up. If you don't have those two pieces of equipment, don't worry about it. We'll be able to find some modifications, or there are going to be plenty of stretches that you will love. All right, take a look. Okay, so the first thing I have for you today is not actually a stretch, but it is super, super important, and that is some breathing exercises. So I know that you might think breathing, boring, and want to fast forward, but breathing and dialing in your breath strategy can be so helpful in healing your body in the postpartum period. It can really do a lot to strengthen your deep abdominal muscles and get your pelvic floor kind of working and strong again. So I want to demonstrate a diaphragmatic breath for you with a pelvic floor lift. And know that if this is something that's a little bit hard for you, it's hard for me too. This was something that was way easy for me before I had my last baby, and now that I'm postpartum again, it's a little bit challenging. So if it takes your mind a minute to get wrapped around it, that is totally normal, and visiting a pelvic floor physical therapist could work wonders in helping you dial in this breath strategy. Okay, so what we're gonna do is first make sure we're in a good position. You can be seated, you can be side lying, you could be in child's pose, but I do want your ribs to be stacked over your hips. So you can kind of see right here, my ribs are over my hips. They're not up like this, they're not like rolled down like this, okay? I want you to have a nice neutral spine here, ribs over hips. And if you're struggling to be like, are my ribs over my hips? Look at your boobs. As long as you have a bra on, if your boobs are pointed straight in front of you, you should be in a neutral position. But if they're like pointed up to the sky or they're pointed down to the ground, you probably need to adjust a little bit, okay? You can also do this from a standing position as well. Okay, so on this particular breathing exercise, what we're gonna do is on our inhale, we're gonna focus on expanding our rib cage like an umbrella and letting our belly relax completely. On the exhale, we're going to lift our pelvic floor. So the best cue that I have for this, and bear with me because it's totally crazy, is to imagine you're picking up a blueberry with your vagina. I told you it was crazy. But you know blueberries, the texture of them, they're really kind of, if you squeeze it too hard, it will break. They're a soft type of berry, okay? So I want you to think about on your exhale, if that blueberry is on the ground, you're drawing it up and into your vagina. On the inhale, you'll totally let it go with that full relaxation of your low abs right through here. If you notice that your glutes are really firing and they're like super, if they are super engaged or they're firing really hard, we want to back that down just a little bit. This does not need a strong glute engagement to perform this movement or this breathing exercise properly, okay? So walk through it with me. Get your ribs over your hips, put your hands on either side of your rib cage. On your inhale, your rib cage is going to expand like an umbrella, so inhale. And I want you to feel your rib cage expanding in all four corners of your hands. So forward, sides, and near the back. Inhale, exhale, pelvic floor lifts. Drawing that blueberry up and into your body. Inhale, totally let it go. Low belly relaxes, rib cage expands. Exhale, kegel. Blueberry up and in. And inhale, let it go. Again, exhale. And inhale. So you really want to focus, again, on an inhale, rib cage expanding, low belly relaxing. Exhale, pelvic floor draws up like you're pulling a blueberry up and into your body, and then check your glutes. Are they firing super hard? If so, give it about 50% less effort, okay? So try to get ton of these breaths in at a time, maybe 2 to 3 times a day. There's no overdoing it here. And again, like I said, if it's something you're struggling with, get yourself to a pelvic floor PT right away, because I really found for myself and for a lot of my clients, this really clicked when they were working with somebody one-on-one. And pelvic floor PT is nothing to be like scared about. It's actually a pretty enjoyable, easygoing experience. Okay, so that's your first exercise. Your second, you're gonna need your foam roller. Now, I have a long foam roller here. This is what I would recommend, because we are going to get everything from our tailbone to the crown of our head on this foam roller. And you know, as we hold babies all the time, and we're feeding them or we're sitting in a chair, we're constantly being drawn forward like this, right? So you might notice some tightness through your pec muscles, and today we're gonna open them up with this foam roller stretch. So if you don't have a foam roller, they're very, very inexpensive. They sell them at Target. Get yourself one. I absolutely love this stretch, and it's totally worth the $15 that this foam roller costs. Okay, so like I said, you're gonna get on the foam roller, tailbone to the crown of your head, touching it. It'll run along your spine. And all you're really doing right here is taking your arms like a goalpost and just opening them up. Just let them drop towards the ground. My rib cage is really flaring up right here. Now I'm gonna try to pull it down. And I'm simply just gonna hang out here and feel a nice stretch through the shoulders here, through my pec muscles. It feels pretty incredible. So again, if you don't have a foam roller, you can pick one up at the store. You could try this on a bench or try to get creative, you know, somewhere in your house with something to kind of get everything nice and open up here. All right, moving on. Okay, the next stretch that I have for you is called a squat to stand. So you are going to find a deep squat position, whether you can get as low as I can or maybe you're up here, doesn't matter. Find a deep squat stance, plant your hands in front of you. I'm just gonna shimmy to the side here, and then you're gonna lift your hips high, hips to the ceiling, take them up, and then back down. Squat to stand, as simple as it sounds. So for about 15 reps or maybe 30 seconds, you're simply gonna move through this range of motion. You'll feel this big time in your hamstrings, which are in the back of your legs, and through your hips. This feels really nice. If you're in the bottom of this, you can even kind of go from side to side. If that feels good, that'll help open your hips a little more. But squat to stand. All right, next up, I've got a hip flexor stretch for you. So the hip flexors are on the front side of your body, right through here, and you're gonna come to a half kneeling position. So right leg forward, left leg back. And from here, you're gonna shift your hips forward just slightly. I don't want you going super far forward, because that can really pull a lot through your pelvic floor muscles. And just, you know, I'm 2.5 weeks postpartum right here, and it doesn't feel good to get in a deep hip flexor stretch, but a mini one feels okay. So go to a point where you feel a nice stretch right through here, but no pain or discomfort. So you'll first shift forward just slightly, same arm as leg that's backwards, reach it high, and take it over to the side. Once you take your arm over to the side, that's when you're really gonna feel the stretch right through here. Maybe 3-5 breaths. Stay here as long as you'd like, and then switch sides. So left foot comes forward, right leg behind you. First we shift forward, same arm as leg. We reach over to the side. Feel a really, really good stretch through the hip flexor right there. Those get real tight during pregnancy, or at least they do for me. Okay, next up, let's grab your resistance band for a hamstring stretch. So if you don't have a long resistance band that's totally looped all the way through, you could grab a towel and roll it up. It doesn't need to be anything fancy. We're simply using it to kind of hold our foot and get a good stretch in. So one leg will come long, get in a position where you can see me here. Your band or your towel is going to wrap around your foot. Simply come to your back, foot comes high, toes flex towards your face. You can take your hand out to the side. I have a soft bend in my knee right here. Maybe you have a bigger bend because you have super tight hip flexors. Maybe your leg is completely straight. It doesn't have to be straight though to get a good stretch. So from this position, you're simply gonna just breathe. As you inhale, relax, exhale, you can pull that foot a little bit closer to your face. You could practice some of that pelvic floor breathing in this position, but that might be a little too much, trying to stretch your leg and focus on your pulling a blueberry into your vagina. Maybe it's just too many things. But if you want to, you do you, girlfriend. Okay, so we want to make sure that we get to both sides here, about 30 seconds each side. And you can see, to come out of that, I rolled to my side and I pressed myself up. We don't want to be doing a lot of sit-up type motion in this early postpartum period. It's just a lot on your core, and you may notice some doming out of your belly. It's not that you're never going to do this again, but just give yourself a little bit of time as you're kind of healing before you're like retching yourself back up, okay? Okay, we're going to stay on the ground for our next stretch. It is a supine twist. So what this is going to look like is you're going to come flat to your back, pull your knees into your chest, and then take them over to one side. They'll be stacked. I'm going to move so you can see a little bit better. They'll be stacked one on top of the other. Arms are goal posted, and your gaze is going to come in the opposite direction of your hands. So you'll feel a really nice stretch here through your mid-back. And I'm turning my head towards you so you can see me, but you'll want to turn your head away from your legs. You can take about 3 to 5 breaths, maybe roughly 30 seconds in this position. Give yourself a little squeeze, and then take it out the other way. So this feels really good right through this whole region right here. Okay, this last stretch today is going to get into our glutes. So come back to your back on the ground. You're going to come into the laying position. Your right foot will cross over your left knee, and then you're going to pull your knee into your chest. This is a figure 4 stretch. And right now, I feel this in my right glute big time. So from here, you can simply stay right here, or on an exhale, we can pull this left foot or this left leg in towards our body ever so slightly. I moved it about 2 inches here, and it just takes that stretch a little bit deeper. And we can switch sides. Left foot crosses over the right knee, hand kind of comes through here, and we inhale, exhale, pull it a little bit closer. Feet are flexed here to protect our knee. Inhale, exhale a little bit deeper. You'll feel this big time on the outside of your glute right through here. Okay, that's it for me today. There are several postpartum stretches for you to get into to get your body just feeling really good, get you moving ever so slightly. Combining these with some walking and just a lot of breathing in this early healing stage is so important. And when you're ready to return to the gym, to return to exercise, I have a full postpartum program. It's 8 weeks, and it is designed to get you from this early postpartum stage, or even, if you're 6 months or a year postpartum and you're ready to return to the gym, it's designed to get you from that postpartum stage back to whatever exercise it is that you love. So if you want to play around with a little bit of strength training, some rehab put together in this 8-week program, I would love to have you. I will link to it down below. Any questions, and please reach out to me. I love hearing from you guys, and I will talk with you guys soon, but snuggle those babies because this time is super, super short, and I guess I hear they're gonna be, in college before we know it. All right, good luck, everyone.